Hey everybody, and welcome back to KMFM. I am your hostess with the mostest, I'm not like a McCoy, Superman. Here with you to talk some finances, shall we? Let's let us have money talk. I know most people don't talk about money. I know it's something people really are afraid to talk about, but let's talk money today, y'all. All right. So for starters, you're probably like, this guy looks regular, and why is he talking about doing a checkbook? Well, I'm not a regular guy. So that's why we're talking about my checkbook. So I have multiple traumatic brain injuries. Most don't know it unless they look at my scars and they ask questions. Being that I have multiple traumatic brain injuries and I am super self sufficient, I figured let me make a video about how stressful doing a checkbook is for me. Because I personally would rather go pick up dog shit all day than do a checkbook. For real. So I did my checkbook today all by myself. It's just me here, nobody else. There's nobody here. And I just kind of want to put it into perspective of when's the last time I did my checkbook. So when I checked it, I was like, all right, first, yes, it's a real checkbook. I still write checks. And yes, I do have a register. Now, whether you write checks or not, you should definitely get a register because it kind of holds you accountable for every penny you spend. And that's the whole purpose in balancing a checkbook. Now, the last time I even looked at this, y'all, was in 2021. That was it. Yep. And I'm just double checking some facts here I have written down. Check number 424. Yeah. So think about that. So from 2021 was the last time I did my checkbook. So for all of this year so far, I have not been accountable or holding myself accountable at that to my funds and where they're being spent. And last month I had a wide awakening. And you're like, what was that? Last month my rent check bounced. And that never, ever in all of my existence has ever happened. And you're probably like, wow, yeah. It was a huge pill to swallow. It was like my rude awakening. Actually, that was my. You got to get your finances under control. I got to turn the air conditioner back on. It's hot in here, so you're gonna hear some background noise. Um, so that was my wake up call. Was hey, your check bounced where you live. Like fuck everything else you spent money on. Your check bounced. So I've been compiling everything, and finally yesterday I had to give some blood because I'm having surgery next month on the 13th. And they said, for the next 2 to 3 days, which I'm gonna take their full advice. So tomorrow afternoon I'll start working again, like on the outside and stuff. But they said, take it easy. Don't, be strenuous. Sit down. Just take a day or two. Take 2 3 days. So I said, all right, I'm gonna do my checkbook. I was gonna do it last night, but I sat there for hours staring and staring and staring and staring at the receipts and the checkbook itself. And I just sat there. And I think I spent 3 hours staring at a checkbook last night. I'm not going to lie. I sat there so frustrated because I was like, it's so easy, but yet I don't want to do it. And I told myself, okay, if we just do this, it'll be done. Well, I woke up this morning, checkbook was not done. So I've been doing a lot today. And my checkbook has been on the top of my list. So I started doing my checkbook. And the way I do my checkbook, it is a 3-stage process. I first use my desktop, which I'm currently filming on, to go to my checking account, the one that I am balancing, and I open it up and I make it full screen. And I decided, because there's nowhere to really start, that I'm going to start last month when I fucked up. So I flipped the page from last year, 2021, of November 2nd. Actually, this ain't even right. Yes, this is right. Yes, this is right. So in 2021, I decided, let me just flip it. We're going to start all over again. And you're like, okay. So I decided to start on May 24th. And you're like, what is significant about May 24th? Great question. I'm glad you asked. That was the day my Social Security check kicked in. And most people who have traumatic brain injuries, like myself and a lot of others, we get Social Security because we are 100% disabled. Because a traumatic brain injury can never actually be 100% cured or healed. So I live off of a Social Security check until my life gets better. So that's the day I chose was 5/24 because I said, well, that's when my SSI check kicked in. So I went on my laptop from the 24th all the way to current. I took I used to take a big piece of paper, but I realized that it's overwhelming. I would become overwhelmed with all the transactions because there's more than 10. So what I did is I went and got some note cards. These are 3x5 note cards. I think, yeah, 3x5 note cards. And I sat down and from the 24th of May, I wrote out each. I wrote the date, what it was, whether it was a debit or a credit. I wrote the amount. Once I double checked and triple checked that, I then went to my checkbook and started to write things down. But at the same time, I had an entire stack of receipts because I was going to do my checkbook and I just never wrote it down. So I kept all these receipts. So not only do I now have this computer in front of me, all these index cards, and it took about three index cards from top to bottom, and my checkbook. And I know it's like super overwhelming, but this is the only way I can actually do it. So I'm checking everything. I'm checking everything off just to make sure I don't miss anything. And I started doing my checkbook at like 2:30 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I just got finished about 5 minutes ago. And one page, 2 pages, 2.5, almost 3 pages later, I am fully caught up. I now know exactly to the exact penny how much I have in my checking account, and I'm writing out all my bills for next month right now, today. I'm making sure everything gets paid, and I'm going to take it all out of my checkbook tonight after I write down all my bills because I can't find my bill book. Apparently, I've lost my important book and my bill book, which I just don't know how I lost those two. But those two books, I really need them, and I seem to not find them. But they are crucial because they have all my information. But until then, I'm going to try and remember the bills that I have, and I'm going to write them down on the note card, and then I'm going to write down in my checkbook. Sorry, y'all, I'm tired. Doesn't seem like a lot for somebody who doesn't have brain injuries to do a checkbook and just keep going about their day, but it's very exhausting for me. It's a lot of information, and I have to double and triple check it to make sure because I have nobody doing this for me. So I want to make sure I don't ever, ever, ever. Let me just say this again. I don't ever, ever, ever want to overdo it ever again. To have a check get returned, it felt so horrible. I never ever want that to happen ever again in my life. Yes, I did reach out to USAA, and they graciously gave me a credit. I let the kid know because he sent me like this long thing, and I did. I was like, I'm sorry, I'm not trying to be rude, but I don't understand. Are you telling me that I can't get a credit out of the 20 plus years I've been a member and never been overdraft? And he was like, no, no, I'm sorry, I wrote that wrong. I was like, it's okay, I was just curious. I was like, I've never. So I did get that credit back, which is great. It's $29 back in my checking account. And I appreciate that because I need that. And I was like, it will help it again. So that is the life lesson I learned from a check bouncing is you have to stay on top of your checkbook. And it can be tiring. Um, I literally spent 2 hours on a checkbook, over 2 hours on a checkbook, trying to ensure that all my money is right. So now my checkbook is 90% done. Um, and it will be completed here in a moment. Let's so let's talk about what you do for a budget and all the things that you would put in there. Yeah, yeah. So, for instance, um, my bulb came out. I don't know what happened here, but hold on, now my microphone bulb just came out. There we go. So, for starters, first bill of every month is rent. So, rent. My rent is water and electric is included. So I'll put that up top. Now the bills that I know I normally have, I have an Apple storage fee because my cell phone doesn't have enough storage, which I pay $9.99 for. I got to figure that out. I need to literally dump all the photos that are on my phone onto a hard drive and save myself $10 a month because they are just making buku money off of it. That happens on the first. My truck, two insurance. So let's see. It looks like so the truck takes out on the first. Geico takes out on the 28th, if I'm not mistaken. And that's something you want to know too. Is you want to know. My phone didn't even ring.
Hi, Chris. This is Tyler.
Did he just call? No, somebody else called. I apparently missed a call just now, 4 minutes ago. I don't know. Anywho, so what was I doing? Oh, so you want to know like Geico? Check your app. Yes. When is my bill coming out? And it'll show you. So like, trying to see when the payment is billing. There we go. So the next withdrawal date it tells me is on the 28th. So I'm gonna write that down because well I need to know that. So 28th of every month. So that means the Geico bill is going to come out here in a few days. Okay, so and that's for 129.22. Okay. Now we got our internet bill because internet ain't free, which I need to call them, especially if you're handicapped, disabled. You should qualify for a discount. Um, I keep forgetting to fill it out with Spectrum, so I need to uh, do that. There's an actual. Hold on now. I have it somewhere. Where did I put it? I have a card somewhere with the instructions. Ah, right here. So for the discount, uh, Well, there's not really any instructions. But there is a way to get a discount. I have to go to spectrum.com and check it out. But I need to file for that. Until then, I have to pay the monthly bill. Yeah, because that's going to help us. And then also, there's a bill for the transmission on the truck. And we're still working with Chevy to get reimbursed for the Chevy transmission because the transmission went out on the truck after I complained about it since I purchased it. So, continue. It's supposed to remember me on Spectrum, apparently not. Let's see here, Spectrum. So my due date for Spectrum, I got an email from them, is the 29th for 5528. Okay, so synchrony, we got to write that down. And that's on the 3rd. That's when that's due. Okay, so let's go over. We got Rent, Apple, Geico, Spectrum, Synchrony. I feel like I'm missing something. Let's look here at our. I think that's it. Okay, so I don't know how much rent is, but what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put in the Spectrum and the Geico, the Capital One, the Apple, and the Secret, all of that. So we're gonna write. Today is the 23rd, so I'm gonna do 6. I'm gonna just write it all today. 623. 623. And this is why it gets so tiring. And what I'm gonna do is underneath put the actual due date. So this is due on the 28th, 3rd. We'll just put first. First. Go ahead and write it out of our checkbook so that way we don't ever overdraft again. So 285.15, 192. Oh shit, I read that backwards. 120. 22. You know, this is just not as easy as people think. Geico, check. Comes out on 20. Capital, check. Spectrum, 20. And that was for 55. 20. Unless we can get that done before the first of the month with Apple. Let me just double check. It's Apple. Apple's the second of the month. So if I can get everything off of my phone before then and lower the storage back to the original storage, I can save myself a ton of money there. It'll save me $10 a month. So, with that being said, we just added 5 more friggin' things. Let me check those. So now what we have to do, and this is where it gets fun. For me, I like to color code it. Red is money out, green is money in. So I got me this beautiful red Pilot G207 pin, and I'm going to start doing little minuses. And I'm going to rewrite the number again. Just double check it. 55, $250. And I put a minus in front of it so I know in case there was ever a mistake. Then I use a handy dandy pencil. You're like, what? Let me show you. So what I'm gonna do, this is how I do my math. You're like, what? It helps my brain. So I take the number I have in my checking account, and then I go ahead and do the math. So I'm gonna take everything we just wrote down, 285.15, 129.22, 7, 3, 4, 11, 3, 4, plus 55.28, 15, 6, 9, 6, 4, 999, 4, 16, 19, 7, 4, and then plus 250, 479, 64, plus 50 equals 4, 6, 9, 12, 729.64. Wow. And what I'm going to do, just to triple check it, I then bring out the handy dandy calculator. And I go 285, 129, 55. See, it's a good thing I did that because my math came out totally different. So let's try it again. 285.15 plus $129.22 plus $55.28 plus something's wrong with my phone. Fucking telephone. Okay, we're gonna use the calculator on the desktop. 285.50. For 69.65. Okay, we're on track. We're on track. 9.99 plus 250 equals 729.64. Okay, so my math was right. So what we're gonna do? So that's a total of $729.64. That's not even including rent. Rent is gonna be $550 or $580 hypothetically. So $580 plus 1309, which that puts me over my Social Security check. This is why I have to cancel the there's a lot I have to like limit because I can't afford to get food. My social security check is only $1,259, and my bills are $1,309. I don't even understand that. But now I know how I went over. So it is what it is. We're going to just be very, very broke for a while. I don't actually like being broke. Now we're actually transferring the numbers into the checkbook. Almost done. All right. So now we have everything minus our rent check put in here to know that we can't spend a fucking penny. So it's gonna be tight for a while, but we're gonna make it work. Make it work. So that would be the stresses. Doing a checkbook, it makes you stressed out because when you look at your numbers and you're like, oh shit, how am I? How do I have? How am I spending more than I even get in? It it costs more to live than it does than you get. So that's what I'm trying to say. Um, but yeah, it's very stressful. Uh, just looking at that just gave me anxiety. So just want people to know, like, it's okay that if you have TBIs and you are trying to do your checkbook and you're not doing a good job at it, it's okay. That actually helps a little bit. So, for having traumatic brain injuries, I have failed myself a lot, especially when it comes to money management. But writing it down, doing a checkbook, putting it in your face like this is the best way to help you manage your money. Um, and yeah, so I did it. It's done. I'm broke, but it's done. And it is what it is. But soon it won't be this way. I can't live like this forever. It's driving me insane. So um, yeah. So there's that. So with that being said, I want to thank y'all for letting me talk to y'all about doing my checkbook. It wasn't easy, but I did it. Finally, it took a while, but I did it. That's the thing is I did it. I got frustrated and I still did it. I'm very proud of myself. I'm frustrated with myself because it's taken me 5.5 years to finally figure out how to do the goddamn checkbook and to want to stay on top of it because something bounced. I guess that's what probably really did it. Is I'm embarrassed by the check bouncing. But now that that's happened, I've learned from it and I want to do nothing but succeed. So I think that was my rock bottom was the check bouncing. Yep, I'm gonna say so. So I won't have anything bounce again. I know that I have enough in here to cover my check, um, and then that's it. So I do want to thank y'all though. I hope if you need any guidance or if this, I hope this helps somebody because it really is. It's draining. It caused me a lot of tiredness. Like I want to take a nap right now. I really do because of all my numbers and all of it. But yeah, y'all. I want to thank y'all again for joining. Allow me to talk to y'all about how balancing the checkbook took out almost 3 hours of my life, and that won't happen again because I'm going to stay on top of that as well. So I'm trying my best to stay on top of everything. I think I'm doing a pretty damn good job of it, if you ask me. So with that being said, yeah, I love y'all. Remember to be kind. Every single one of you are beautiful. You're blessed. You're breaking down barriers, boundaries, and borders. Have hope, faith, and love during these times because they can be tough. Know you're a boss, my friend, but most of all, every single one of you, including myself, are motherfucking bees, and bees don't break. I'm Christopher, motherfucking McCoy, Superman, here with you on Balancing a Checkbook. I hope y'all have a wonderful day, and I'll see y'all soon. Peace and love, y'all. Peace and love. That was fun.